Hi, I'm Alex Hauser from Property Adjustment National Association. I'd like to talk to you about something that affects you, short sales, and how you can profit from them while also having a higher success rate. I would like to first say that realtors never saw this economy coming at them. You seem to always be reacting to the economy instead of being proactive. The word short sale in the beginning was a repulsive way of doing business and now has become a necessity. There's a simple answer to the short sales all around you. Now, I know the first word that came in your head was, where? It's right under your nose. It's in the home you're standing in. You just can't see it because you've been telling the homeowner to bury it under paint, new carpet, and many other repairs you tell your client to do to prepare their home for sale. The insurance agents and companies love you for it. Give me a second while I put my teacher hat on. I need to educate you in two ways. First, that about every home has at least $10,000 of covered damage in their home that your client and/or mortgage company is legally entitled to in their home right now. Despite what you may believe, it doesn't matter how many claims are reported to the insurance company. Let me tell you a little secret I learned from an insurance broker friend of mine that the insurance companies don't want me to tell you. Another friend who is a realtor calls me up one day and says, I don't know what to do. I have a client with 3 reported claims in 5 years, and I can't find a policy that keeps the numbers working for the sale. He went on talking about how he needed the sale to go through and couldn't afford not to find a homeowner's policy that worked within the numbers of his deal. So I asked him, where was he having the client go for quotes? He said about 4 or 5 large insurance brokers right in the city of Philadelphia. I said, there's your problem. To get better underwriting guidelines, you need to find a broker, not an agent, that is outside of the city that has been around a long time, and I know just the person. Within 30 minutes, they had a policy that fit the numbers and provided the right amount of coverage the homeowner needed. Now, here's the problem. You don't know how to find a qualified claim, process it with the insurance company, and get paid. What if I could show you how you, in 80 hours, could not only get all this done, but make as much or more on getting it done, and help all your other realtor coworkers and other firms out there to the tune of $250,000 a year, plus what you get paid as a realtor. Do I have your attention now? So many realtors try to diversify so much to bring in a little more, and they are still broken in this economy. What I just educated you on is called public adjusting. Some of you are probably saying, why don't I just hire a public adjuster in my area to do all this work for me? 2 problems. First, there are large areas that don't have any public adjusters even though the state has a license for it. And second is, out of the few adjusters out there, most only handle large claims and will not give you the time of day. Here's a friend of mine that we taught to become a public adjuster who was a real estate broker in the state of Illinois.
Before I became a public adjuster, I have 30 years experience in the real estate business. And during the real estate business, I did a lot of things as far as owning my own office, buying and selling real estate in businesses, owning and selling properties, managing properties. Becoming a public adjuster came about because after 30 years of real estate, I've been through peaks and valleys several times in my life. I just couldn't tolerate the last downturn in real estate, so I just got tired of it and wondering how I can sustain an income for the next 10 years, let's say. So what happened is I looked into different avenues, and a friend of mine who I've known all my life is in the insurance business, and he said, with all my knowledge of real estate and my contacts that I've had, why don't I look into what's called public insurance adjusting? And I knew it was there, but I just never knew how viable the business was. Well, I was very impressed about what I found on the website. And the problem that I have, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and in this big city, in this wonderful state of ours, there is absolutely nobody that will teach you or talk to you about becoming a public insurance adjuster. It's like the biggest secret in the world when I found Mark Hauser on the internet. And frankly, he was the only one that would actually answer the phone and talk very openly and honestly and give out the information freely. And I found that such a relief. In fact, that's the only reason how I was able to start looking into and actually becoming a public adjuster because he was the only one who was going to give me the knowledge and expertise and the website so I can self-study. Finding work. Myself, as you know, many years I've been in the sales business, so for me going out and talking to people was never a problem. So for me to find work was all a matter of starting to get my name out and talking to people and letting know what I'm doing. So all of a sudden with what I was learning on the website, you know, it started giving me the confidence where I can actually go out and talk to people and start relating to them exactly what I do. Because a lot of people didn't know what even a public adjuster does. That when I was, first of all, looking at property damage and then having the confidence that it matched up with a peril on the insurance policy became fairly easy. It's easy for me because now I could talk to people intelligently about it, and then the losses start coming in because now I can relate property damage, insurance coverage, and the money I can get for the people. But nobody else in the entire city of Chicago, I should say, is concentrating on the small losses, and I found that my niche. I really enjoy that. People have property damage, they need to get it fixed up, and they have no idea how to do it and relate to the insurance company so they can get the money. So I like the small losses, and what I like better about it is nobody else is doing it. What I really liked about the school is all the documentation, so I can actually study them at my desk and at my leisure. But as far as the contracting, I know, you know, about remodeling, simple remodeling, and, you know, some of my buildings that I've owned in the past, when they were damaged, you know, you hire a contractor, he gives you a price, and then you forget about it. But when you're doing estimating, it's a little different because the more you put in, the more money you get. And so with all the documentation that I got from the website, Mark was very detail-oriented, and that's what you have to be in your estimating. So that helped me greatly to start putting in all the elements within the estimating of a loss to make sure I get every dollar. So the website was very helpful to do that. Another thing that was very helpful is all the samples that were collected of other claims that were written up. So you can see if a water damage or smoke damage, car crashing into a home, you know, all of those type of estimates that you may find of past experienced adjusters. That's very important to look at all their line items. And that was a tremendous help starting to study, you know, exactly how estimates were put together. Those are the things that I tried to go around town in Chicago to ask all the other companies I wanted to work for, can you show me this? And all of them says no. So without the website and without all the documentation, I would never be a public adjuster today. I have found out that with whatever I've learned, what's very important, it's 100 times more than what many claims adjusters do. A lot of them are just not very knowledgeable. They were taught by the big insurance companies how to write and minimize a claim, whereas in negotiating, all they want to do is pay as less or as little as possible. So the investment is 100% payback as far as I'm concerned. Whatever is being charged is the only place you can go if you actually want to learn this business. So the return on investment for me has been tremendous because not only was I able, and I've set up many businesses in my life. A restaurant would have cost me about $150,000 to get in. You know, I set up real estate offices. You know, those may have cost me about $75,000 by the time you get it set up and operating, and you're not even turning a profit. The return on investment, whether it's $1,000, and where can you set up a business, you know, for that little of money? So whatever the investment is, I think it's well worth it. It's the most documented organization that's willing to share that knowledge. Yeah, within the 2 years that I've been involved with public adjustment, you know, I can honestly say it's provided me more than a good income. It's provided me a great income, in fact, and I feel that now with the knowledge that I have, just like a lawyer that goes to school and becomes licensed, I have that knowledge now where I can go ahead and I can make money for many years to come.
I'd like to also let you know that Ed has 5 people soliciting claims, that he only pays as funds come in from the client's claims, and 1 person now almost completed his public adjuster training. This will put Ed's weekly income at about $8,259, with about 20 to 25 hours worth of work a week. You can see why Ed feels the way he does. what if you hadn't made the commitment to become a public adjuster? I would like to let you know how it works in 6 easy steps. Step 1. The insurance companies cheat on their clients. Not once in a while, all the time. Step 2. Public adjusters are licensed and trained to make the insurance companies pay what they need to, and no more. Step 3. With an understanding of laws and building estimating methods, public adjusters can retrieve everything for the client and their fee also. Step 4. Depending on what state you live in, the percentage could be 10% to 25%. This is between $1,000 and $2,500 on an all-over-the-place, small $10,000 claim. Step 5. We not only teach you how to process the claim, our association teaches you to inspect homes for real damage that most people don't know is covered by the policy. Step 6. The realtor puts an assignment contract on the claim money to go under the closing table, minus your fee, and the short sale is solved. You get paid twice, first for selling the home, and second for adjusting the claim. You can learn to do this with less than what you pay for advertising when selling a home.